Everyone, how are you doing? I am so very excited tonight because I am going to have two very special guests come up um, for the Salem Paranormal and Horror Conference. They are dear friends of mine. It will be Thomas Gormley and Charles Ramsey, and we are going to talk about the conference as well as their experiences within the paranormal. So I'd like to go ahead and welcome them up.
There's me.
There's me.
Hi, how are you both?
Great.
We are doing fantastic. Again, Raven, long time no see, and same with you, Charles. So, but yeah, we just saw each other over the weekend.
Yeah, we did.
We had fun.
Yeah, definitely. But
All right.
yeah.
So, what I'd like to ask you both first is, can you tell us a little bit about yourselves individually with your background and what first drew you into horror and the paranormal?
You can go first, buddy.
Yeah. Well, for me, at a young age, I think I was about 7, and mom and dad, and back in the Gen X days, put us in front of the TV and just said, "Oh yeah, watch whatever." And my brother and sister and I, unmistakably, we watched Salem's Lot, and it literally scared the crap out of me. So nowadays, doing what I do here in the paranormal, people ask me, "Do you ever get scared?" I says, "No." After seeing that movie, there's no way I'm going to be scared of anything. I thought the little boy at the window, anytime I heard the wind blow in the window, I thought he was coming to get me and turn me into a vampire. But growing up, I was always sensitive to things around me and didn't know why. And I, lucky enough, lived growing up in Connecticut. A lot of people didn't know them until a lot of the Conjuring movies came out. But Ed and Lorraine Warren, I got to see them talk, and Lorraine helped me out over the years, and I owe her a lot. I think if she didn't tell me, what my sensitivities were, I'd probably be dead or in jail or something. I don't know. So I owe her a lot. And just develop my skills. They were building blocks for me, and I did my trial and error, and over the years developed my sense for the parapsychology side, demonology side, just how to discern things properly in this industry and help a lot of families. Thousands of cases later, I happened to come across this guy below us, and he'll tell you how we got to that point of his coming around, and then we'll talk about how we met, and that's kind of funny, but I'll let Charles go next there.
Well, I never grew up watching any kind of like monster movies or stuff because my parents were very strict and they wouldn't let me see any of that stuff. And I was like, thought maybe someday I'll watch, a scary movie. And I did really much later in life. But I was, getting drunk one day at a bar in Stratford, Connecticut. It was called Two Roads. And Thomas was there. And he literally picked me up off the ground. I mean, I was blitzed. And it was funny because I said to him, "You look like something out of a monster movie." And I'd never seen any monster movies. He went on and on about how, come on, you're going to stand up. We're going to change your life. We're going to really make you, he says part of what he does is he helps the other side and people who are alive on this side. And I just, through my drunken stupor, it sort of made sense. Now looking back, it made no sense, but it made a lot of sense. And I said, yeah, I love it. I love it. And I asked him if I had permission to watch a horror movie. And he said no. He said no. That's going to be a while before you can do that. And I said I don't like you. And he said I don't like you either. And we kind of kissed, and then became very close. And he said you really should get into this paranormal stuff. And I was so confused. I thought he said we should both become paratroopers. I have no idea what he was saying. I said, "Hi, my name is Roger Ramsey. I'm a paratrooper. This is what I want to do." And he sort of worked it, explained it better. I sobered up, and then we started producing conventions together. And the first convention we did was for collectors of Snapple tops. And we thought that if we
That's the writer. That's the writer in Charles right there, just doing that off the cuff. So,
I said they all have different messages. There's got to be other Snapple top collectors. And he said, no, not Snapple. Snapple. And he took the word P from Snapple and the A from Snapple. And he just kept the L. And he said paranormal. He got that from Snapple. I don't know how he got that from Snapple. I said, you know what? Whatever you say, I mean, I had a crush on him. I said, whatever you say, I'm going to go along with. And here we are now, producing a convention this weekend in Salem, Massachusetts.
Yeah. It's a long road.
My gosh.
It's a long road. Yeah.
So how long have you two known each other now? How many years?
Like going on 4 years now.
A little more, I think, probably, yeah. 4 or 5 years, yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm completely sober. I'm sober now, guys.
Yeah.
So, and I probably would not have been had Thomas not come along. Now he's moved away, and I've been mixing a little tequila in my Snapple, and I'm just, I don't want to get back on where I was.
Yeah.
But I think, it'll be healthy being with you guys again this weekend. That'll keep me on the straight road ahead.
Well, you know what Snapple does to you, so you got to stay away from the Snapple. So.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
So, within your experiences, what would you say is a particular moment or experience that really convinced you that this field was worth exploring seriously?
For me, I'm not. We're called the Shaman and the Showman because it's the yin and the yang. He's the shaman. He senses things. He's a medium, empath, and extra, all of the above. And I'm this just schlemiel who, is along to make people smile and laugh, to flirt with Samaya, to, I have certain things that I do, not very successfully, but I do them. But I had this thing where I was taught to take a lot of pictures sometimes of the same, scene, the same part of a building, whatever. And it's proven that is successful for me, because I'll take like a bunch of pictures, and then in one there'll be a shadow figure. Or I took a picture of Thomas when he was doing the Estes method, and in one of the pictures his face actually morphed, and he had long hair, and we saw this wasn't stuff that we were making up on a drunken bender. This is stuff that we actually saw. And so for me, the revelation was probably that wow, I will continue to take photographs and hope that there's something special in it, because I find that to be like kind of my niche. And that's a tiny niche, but I'm okay with it, because there's people like yourself, Raven, there's people like Thomas who have, a greater being in this whole scenario.
That's
Geez,
awesome.
I forgot what the question was. And
the question is, what is one, I'm looking at my notes here, what was a particular moment or experience that convinced you that the field of the paranormal was worth exploring seriously?
God, that goes way back. I've been at this, off and on since I was 15. But really, what really made me concentrate on it, I helped all kinds of people over the years, but I think it really dawned on me to dig in and do right upon everybody in this, the living and the dead, was after my mom passed away. When my mom passed away back in 2012, I really dove in a little harder to help people because of what my mom went through, and I didn't want people to, have those traumas or things like that that manifested these types of things. And so I went out to help people, just not only with paranormal issues, just also with, PTSD, things like that. And lucky enough, I met Stacia, and we co-founded with her Wardruna.
I thought he was going
But
to say, lucky enough he found me, but obviously.
yeah, I know. Luckily, I found Charles, but Charles also, being a Beatles guy, he calls Stacia Yoko.
No. She called herself that. I
No,
take no responsibility for that.
well,
Brilliant.
you expounded on it, so
I
yeah,
did.
yeah. So, but no, it's the thing is, Charles has his Beatles. He does the Beatles stuff. He does the horror stuff where he takes people over to Transylvania, Romania to do Dracula tours, and we do the paranormal stuff together. We're best of friends, and Stacia and I do the Wardruna thing. We all do so many different things, but we applaud each other, we cheer for each other to do all these different things. And we're all very good friends with all, Charles' family, and Charles with my family and all that stuff. So it's a great duo that we got. So
It's a great dynamic. It really is.
yeah.
It's just across the board. I mean, it's mutual admiration, and it's respect, and there's a real love, and it goes beyond the two of us. It's with Stacia, it's with you, Raven. It's just the community. I just there's a lot of craziness that goes on with it, and there's a lot of the backbiting and all. I know all about that, but most of the people that we're surrounded with, I think we're blessed with.
Yeah. But it was hard, I had to help Charles get off the Snapple, but we made it.
That's awesome. So, what's one case or experience within your within what you've seen that has really still defies like explanation for each of you?
Well, interestingly enough, I mean, there's so many now at this point. It's really funny because when I wrote my book, True Ghost Stories of Connecticut, I would ask the people what their most profound experience was, what that moment, and they would always say, "Oh, there's too many." And I get it now, because when people ask, there are too many. But interestingly enough, one of the ones that always comes back to me, and I tell the story a lot, is when Thomas and I were on a paranormal investigation, and there's really not a lot happening there. It was a cool place, and everyone was enjoying the vibe, and everything was good. But then we finally got to the attic, and there was, some children's furniture there, and it turned out that it might have been the kids' nursery, and we were using all the equipment, and he was talking. And all we were getting was, the static. All we were getting was white noise. And then finally, when the spirit was ready to talk, it said, "Thomas." And you could have just like taken a shovel and taken me off the ground. I was like, wow. And so that for some reason, that one stands out. We've had others that are probably more poignant, more, oh my gosh. And that in itself, it would never make a chapter in a book. But that's the one that comes to mind when you ask that.
Well, I know Raven could write one, because she could have a chapter in the book after Ansonia Opera House with the pop-up boy there. But something similar for me, there's so many, but just for the fact that Charles has talked about writing a second book, follow-up to what he was just talking about. And, we're trying to get all these people with their stories from Connecticut again. And Charles and I were talking. He still wants my one story, but I'm writing a book on that myself, so can't give away the big one because it's got too many onion layers. But when you really think about it, that profound moment for our groups that come and investigate with us was the East Haven Shoreline Trolley Museum. We do a lot of stuff there. Charles, we run the haunted trolley during October every weekend, and he did the alien invasion this year. This year, again, we're going to do Who Slayed Santa during December and all that. That's going to be coming up. But we've done a couple investigations there. And the first time we went, I know, Raven, you went the second time. But the first time we went, a year before that you went, we do 2 days because we like to get, the different energies of people and what they might pull out of the spirit realm. Sometimes they react to different energies. So the first night we were there, we were on a trolley from New Orleans, and that trolley was, active down in that point, early, 1900s, things like that. So, people are coming on and off and they create that energy. But we were on and through the spirit box or just picking up the energy was somebody named Billy. And Billy kept saying he wanted to go to college. So we just couldn't really unwind the puzzle at that moment. I went home that night thinking about it and wondering, just Billy, what we could do with Billy. And I was hoping that we go back and maybe I could talk to Billy again and just to see what was going on. But, be careful what you wish for. So we brought the group back. We're on the train from New Orleans again, and we let all the patrons use the equipment. We teach them how to use it. And so one of the meters that we were using is called a Mel meter. And the story behind the Mel meter, of course, they'll say Mel 8704. Gary Galka got this to get in touch with his daughter that passed away. And her name was Melissa. She was born in 87, died in 2004. So all these people that use these know that they can help contact people like we were going to do on the trolley. So one of the patrons was holding it, and it measures in milligauss, like 0.1, 0.2 is pretty cool. But all of a sudden, we're on there and some devices going, and they're at the end of the trolley. Our guide was there, and all of a sudden I see the guide kind of go down and hold himself up. And the girl says, wow, this is going to 296, which I don't think I've ever seen it go that high. And she says, oh, it feels really weird over there. And then it just came upon the whole trolley. I had everybody sit down because I was starting to think, well, this energies may not be the safest right now at this moment. Let's just have everybody sit down and try to communicate. And for me, I don't always see, I use a lot of the devices I do feel, but I don't really see a lot unless a spirit's really desperate. And what I saw was going off in my head like a movie camera was World War II. And it finally dawned on me, and the spirit guides told me that, he died in World War II. That's probably why he didn't get to go to college. So this information, again, I'm a conduit. So the spirit guides tell me what to say. And all of a sudden it dawned on me to say, Billy, you going to war and dying for our country was college. As soon as I said that, you could feel a rush of energy go up the trolley, and the girl holding the meter at 296 immediately went to zero. And just everybody on the trolley, I think for the next 15 minutes, didn't know what to say. They didn't know what they just witnessed. And, sometimes that type of stuff happens when we bring people, but it was profound for me because usually, like I tell everybody, we go on these events and we always get results, but sometimes not that crazy of a result like that, because you think about it, if you were a spirit like us, if Charles is sitting in a room and then all of a sudden 30 people walk in and try to ask what his name is, Charles is probably going to be a little uncomfortable. And I think in the spirit world, it's the same. It's all on how we approach and what energy and to reassure the spirit world. And that way we do get that type of result to be able to help the spirit make that transition. And that's why that's a proud moment, because people got to witness that and see that, hey, there is really something going on beyond us.
I want to share something with you, Raven. I was on the road in Connecticut, and I get a call from our boy over here, and he says, just out of the clear blue sky, and he doesn't usually call me. He'll text, can you talk? He'll send me Facebook. There's 80 different ways he'll reach me. for some reason he called me and he goes, "Hey, why don't we do an event at New Salem?" And I'm listening to him, and he goes, "Yeah, it's part of the Fairfield Hills Asylum campus." And I go, "Thomas, you're not going to believe this." And I put my phone on reverse so he can see where I was. I was standing in front of New Salem on the campus of the Fairfield Hills Asylum. I was there to DJ a gig for the Newtown Senior Center that day. Um,
Uh-huh.
and I think it was the first time I'd been there ever. No, since we actually did something at New Salem,
Library event, yeah.
an event a few years prior. But just the fact that he had tuned into me and I was there standing in front of this place thinking, man, I'd love to do an event here again. And he said, why don't we do something at this place? And I turned the phone and he goes, yeah, I'm not surprised. It was like so nonchalant. I'm like, again, scraped off the floor and he's just so nonchalant about it.
Oh wow, that's an awesome story. I believe it though. I totally believe it.
Well, Charles is getting used to hearing my name through the spirit box now.
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't know it doesn't affect me. Some people, they hear their name, they freak out. But I've explained this, and I explain this to a lot of the patrons too, just so they don't freak out. I want you to know that during these investigations, that when we turn these boxes on, you might hear my name. It's an agreement that I have with my spirit guides to let the spirit know if you need help, call his name and he'll know that you need help and he'll help you. And that's kind of what we do, because there's some spirits that are happy to be still around and they know they could transition whenever they want. But there's also spirits that have already transitioned. They like to come back and, see loved ones, or just to see, a blue jay again or something, whatever, in that theory. But some are stuck, and those are the ones that call out my name, and we want to help them. And that's what we do, just along with what Charles and I do. But sometimes you get to witness that, like people like Billy, or like when we were the other day in Ansonia helping the little boy get away from the abusive spirit of his mother to get to be with his father who cared about him. So those are big things.
Yeah, that was an incredible experience to be able to be a part of that. It
Yeah.
was amazing.
So for people who don't know, this past weekend, Friday and Saturday, we did a paranormal investigation of the Ansonia Opera House in Ansonia, Connecticut, which is an abandoned, huge venue, which was originally an opera house, of course. And this is the first time in history that we're doing 2 consecutive weekends of ghost hunts. Because this Saturday night, as you know, we're doing an amazing place in Salem, Massachusetts, which used to be a funeral home and is now the Salem Art Gallery, housed inside the Salem Satanic Temple. And we're not Satanists, but I think it's going to be an amazing place to do an exploration and to see what what happens there. Very exciting.
Because we talk to a lot of people and they say Satanic Temple. But I always tell you, and Charles and I know, Charles and I, when we do events, we make sure it's safe for everybody first.
Yes.
We're not going to bring anybody into a place where we think,
There's a danger.
it's dangerous or anything like that. It's just sounds dangerous in the name, but really, I think it's going to be an unprecedented night. With, of course, Charles and I, the Shaman and the Showman there. I know you're going to be there, Raven. But the main mediums, the mediums for the night that are going to be helping you guys out is Dr. Letriana Brown, who was on the show Repossessed, who of course is the CEO of our network here, and of course the one and only Stacia Wills. And a lot of people are going to find out next weekend what a Mulfor is and how important of history of the shamanistic world that a Mulfor is.
Don't call her a mofo.
No, we're not calling her a mofo. So she only you would, because you still call her Yoko.
Do we have one more investigator with us?
Oh, we're going to have Miss Gwen Johns is our one of our main investigators, keeper of all things electronic, and we're going to have a lot of different instrumentation. I know Dr. Letriana Brown and Gwen are going to be bringing up some cool stuff too, along with what we already have. We always encourage everybody to bring their own equipment too. We're going to try a lot of different experiments. It's going to be a great time. Of course, we're going to make sure we have some food in us, because We're going to be at Paracon all day. We'll go grab some pizza. Our friend Raven helped us out finding a good pizza place. And of course, that always helps. And, then we'll have the investigation. And who knows how long we'll go on it, but it's 8:30 at night. Of course, the Paracon starts 11 a.m. for you VIPs. So that way you could get in early. Then 12 to 6. We have so many things going on. Make sure you go to salemparacon.org. So there's so much stuff. But we're going to talk more about it. But
well, here's a free ticket. You
Yeah.
have to take a picture of the screen right now. Oh, too late.
Oh, I thought that was for a free bottle of Snapple.
Well, what's really cool is that you mentioned all the great, paranormal investigators who are officially on and psychics who are part of the event. But I think like half the people who are joining us are also mediums, are also people who, have their own gifts and are actually guests during the day at the Salem Paranormal and Horror Convention. So it's a one giant, beautiful family affair. Now, I did an event at this venue already once before as a guest author. They invited me, and that's how I, discovered and requested that we do an investigation there. And they said, well, it's going to be perfect for it because, and they gave me all the reasons, all the spirits, everything about what the funeral home used to be like. And there was, I think, one kid's room or kids wing, but I don't want to give any of that away. We're going to save it for the evening of Saturday night, the evening of the 15th.
We got to make sure our mediums work for their free pizza.
No free pizza and no soup for you.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's so good. But yeah, it's going to be quite a weekend, and Charles and I, we always want to make sure we create that event, big, small, medium, large, whatever, a safe venue for everybody to come and talk about weird stuff. We're going to have horror guests there, of course, part of it being the Salem Paranormal and Horror Convention.
Who were the horror guests?
Just earlier we had James Murtaugh on our network here. Wow. He was a fantastic guest. A lot of cool things. And again, he originally, when he first started out in the acting, he was the A1 steak sauce guy. And of course, we were talking about that. And I was laughing later, because if I really like you, I mess around and I joke with you. That's my thing. And I told him I was going to bring a bottle of A1 sauce for him to sign for me. So,
So who are some of the speakers that are going to be there? Let's talk a little bit about them.
So he's one of the two horror guests. The other horror guest would be James Stokes, who was Jason Voorhees, and also known from Stranger Things. For those who didn't tune in on the James Murtaugh, he is best known for The Howling, but he was also on Kolchak, The Night Stalker. So many credits, really so many credits. And, we've had really cool guests at the Salem Paranormal Horror Convention in the past, but these are really nice guys. So that's, that goes a long ways for me. And that's just the two horror guests. There's like a laundry list, and I say that with affection, of paranormal guests. And you go down the list and you go, oh, wow, this one's a great one. This one's a great one. This one's a great one. And unless we're going to read off the sheet and name them all, I don't want to name a few and then leave some out because they're all special to us and they're all going to be part of panels. We have too many guests to have anyone actually do like one of their own presentations.
We only have one. We only have one because of how profound his presentation is. Nothing against any of the other special guests. They all have something great to say.
He has a special niche.
Yeah, when like yourself, Raven, when you're a renowned pet psychic, everybody loves animals. So we have to make sure that people see that. He's going to be the lead off for the Salem weekend. What better person to have lead off than Rob Goutreau? Great author, a great pet psychic that could, help you with any trauma you're having over a lost pet and just have some closure. And he did that at Connecticut Paracon, and people were blown away by it. And we're ecstatic to have him and be able to talk about all that stuff because everybody loves animals. Who doesn't?
I'm really looking forward to meeting him.
Yeah, you're gonna love him. He's a real sweet guy. and very just really a great presentation.
Yeah, but there's going to be a lot of cool presentations, of course. Us being on All Access Network TV, there's going to be a presentation from all the people that are on that. Again, our MC is Mike Roser, and Russ Stiver is going to be our main, podcast guy. We always have a main podcast person at all of our events, so he's great. He's been in the business for a long time, but a lot of we're going to have the Salem witch dancers are going to be there. So we're going to have dancing in between.
Epic.
So every panel, once the panel's done, the witch dancers are going to give us a 10-minute and then another. So it's going to be nonstop awesomeness all day. And we have Dystopica, which is a great rock band from the New England area that very much fits the theme. So those are some of the big ones too. Just off, I know a lot of the paranormal guests, salemparacon.org to see everybody. And also have the times that all the panels are going to be. So it's right down there. But, there's going to be big ones. There's going to be a demonology panel. There's going to be a psychic medium panel, an authors panel. Just 24 Hours in Hell, our friends that on that show that's really starting to take off. And, that's going to be a big thing in 2026. We're glad to have them and have it before it really blows up and get to have them talk about that. Of course, All Access Network TV, Rob Gutro doing the pet psychic stuff. So the list goes on. There's a lot of great stuff going on, and we're excited. The Radicals, of course, are going to be the grand finale because they always have their Museum of Wonders and all that, and everybody's always blown away by that. Me, of course, being on the show Serial Killers, Supernatural Murders, to be able to see a fork that Dahmer might have used during his crimes is always awesome. And all the other things that they might bring out is always exciting. So
I love them. They're great people.
Yeah.
Great people. And in fact, they're going to be hosting an event for us the beginning of next year. We have some surprises planned for the beginning of January.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to be doing an event, a presentation, a program at the Transylvania restaurant in East Haven, which I know you guys love. And then that same weekend, we're going to take off a few months, and then January 3rd, we're going to be doing a paranormal investigation of the Cheshire, Connecticut Masonic Lodge, which I believe goes back to the 1800s.
Yes.
And it was a train station before, or a way station for a trolley. I don't know. There's a trolley connection somehow, which I love. But they'll be announcing that. We want to just concentrate on this weekend. We want people to come and have a great time. We did something we've never done before, is really put it out there. If anyone's part of the event is taking place at Salem State University on their South Campus. And I think it's the last year that the South Campus is going to be available. They're going to knock it down or build condo. We don't know what they're doing. So as a thank you to the community, if you're part of the Salem State University, if you're a teacher, a student, faculty, alumni, a janitor, we don't care. It's free admission. And I think that's given back to that community, but it also bring more people in there because, hey, we want the vendors to do great. We want more and more people. Are we going to be doing a psychic fair in January? She wants to know. We don't usually do in January. If you don't recall, we do a holiday one. We do a Christmas one, but we're skipping this holiday one because Thomas is out of the area for now, and we're going to just put it off for a few months and concentrate on these other January events for now, and then come back hopefully with a springtime Psychic Fair Fest for Connecticut.
Yep.
Excuse me.
And she's getting all choked up with the fact that we're not doing a holiday fair fest. I know,
I know, right?
I know, we're crying. But no, you guys got to realize there's a lot of history at the Salem Paracon, and through the last few years, there's been a lot of great guests and all that. But we were talking about earlier on one of the other podcasts that we were just on that history was made. The amazing Kreskin, his last performance was at Salem Paracon, and it's just those things, those memories that were made with him. And a lot of the people that got to see him that night will be talking about that for the rest of their lives, knowing that they saw Kreskin's last performance. And that's pretty profound. And just seeing people like like I talked about, the 24 Hours in Hell, if that takes off and gets really big, then you're going to be able to meet the people that started it. Just meeting somebody like James Murtaugh, all the movies that he was in, and James Stokes, and you never know, the next movie they're in could be, they could win an Academy Award for, and you could say, I met him. You never know, what energy happens at the Salem Paracon and what you could be part of. So we want you to be there. Very inexpensive to show up and get to hear some of the best people in the industry talk about, what they're great at, the authors talking about all the books they wrote, and, all those good things, and the psychic mediums and how they pick up what they do. Of course, demonology, and just, the things to look at, and just to look at that part of the industry a little differently, that, we'll be able to convey to anybody that's interested in that. But we have a lot of things up our sleeve this year, and we want to make sure that we create some great memories for you. Just want you to be part of it.
We want you to. It's a learning experience, of course. It's a bonding scenario where you're talking with like-minded people. But it's also fun. The fact that we bring in bands, the fact that we bring in, the old Salem Village witch dancers, the fact that I'll be at the door annoying people when they walk in and when they leave. These are things that, you can't find at other events. It brings our own personality to it. It's what the Shaman and the Showman are all about.
Speaking of some of the actors that have been out there, I heard from a little birdie that you have been in horror movies, and I actually saw a list of movies that you were in, Charles.
I haven't heard this rumor, but I don't know. I don't know even what you're talking about. I know that I'm going to be seeing my first monster movie in a few weeks. I don't know. Yeah. I've been in a lot of films and short stories and commercials, and a lot of fun stuff. Yeah, I've been acting for a couple of years now and doing just projects that really, really appeal to me, which is usually on the darker side. And I did something this past weekend which was totally opposite what I normally do. I played a dad who was a mean coach to his son, and it's so very, 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 very stereotypical of what I normally do. But when it was shown to other students who were part of the film, they're like, I can't believe this guy is just a dad who came in to do the role and nailed it. And they were just blown away by this old fart who came in to do a quick scene. But yeah, I'm part of casting networks, and I get a lot of offers to do stuff in New York. I'm just too busy. I mean, there was a time where I jump on the train and spend a day in New York to do an extra scene in like The Secret Life of Walter Mitty, or anything like that. But now I really pick and choose. If there's a horror film and I could be in it, and if it has a juicy enough role that doesn't require a lot of lines to be memorized, I'll do it for the fun of it. Yeah.
Charles, well, in his contract says he only be in a horror movie if he gets to get killed or maimed. So that's.
I can't remember one that I haven't. I was stapled to death. I was crowbarred through the head. I have gunshots in the neck. Literally, just about going down the list. Oh, and a gunshot in the head at a zombie movie. And I wrote the best line for that because I play a preacher, I play a father, and I wasn't the writer of it. But before the guy shoots me, I go, you got to say, forgive me, Father, which is, the forgive me, Father, if I have sinned. Forgive me, Father. And he says it right before he shoots me. And the director, the writer, they go, oh, my God, that's probably the best line in the whole thing. So I have fun with what I do.
Yeah, you got to do that. But I think the craziest thing was the TV show that you were on, Flight of the Condors, where you got to play Elton John.
Flight of the Conchords. I got to share this with you. Yeah. So I was doing a lot more stuff in New York, and I get a call. It was very strange because usually I submit for stuff, and they go, well, we've seen your resume, and we know you can imitate Paul McCartney. We understand you can do a good Billy Joel. And then there goes Stallone. It was on my resume for years that I could do all those. And they go, can you do Elton John? And, I learned very early in my acting career that the answer to everything is what?
Yes.
Yes, yes. Elton John, of course. I got the glasses, I have the high heels, and I did. And I went down there and I thought, wait, something is off. I don't know what I'm doing wrong because I didn't have the mouth. And I kept going like this, thinking that was more Elton-ish. And they brought me in, they put the whole wardrobe on, they took eyeliner and put a gap in my teeth. And what? I actually came off like Elton. And I don't know if you guys know the real comedic, great actor. I shouldn't say comedic, but really established actor, Patton Oswalt. And he's the other Elton John in this is Charles Rosenay and Patton Oswalt both play Elton John. And he's upset at me because he's supposed to be in this show, the Elton John imitator. And here I am as another Elton John imitator. And they just said, in one scene, he's going to see you and get really upset. And I did, when he looks at me, I go, I did that and they cut it out. And I thought it was brilliant. I always try to add some stuff to what I do. But it's season 2 of Flight of the Conchords. It's called The Prime Minister. You can probably find it on YouTube or somewhere. And I play Elton John throughout. And there's a bunch of other lookalikes. And that particular episode had another really cool guest star. Oh, Art Garfunkel was in that as well.
Nice.
So I got to share the bill with Patton Oswalt and Art Garfunkel. The other fun person I was able to share a scene with, share a film with, but I was not killed in this one, so I don't need to talk about it. I play the dad in a movie called The Sadist. And the sadist, the bad guy, is Tom Savini from Dusk to Dawn, who's also one of the foremost, horror makeup guys. So I'm in that film, and if you ever Google it, you don't have to see the whole movie because it's pretty bad, but you can listen to or watch the trailer for it, the sneak preview, and I'm the first voice you hear in it. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Amazing.
Yeah, so fun.
So yeah, so not only will you have the horror guest of James Murtaugh and James Stokes, you will have Charles F. Rosenay,
Roger Ramsey.
Yeah, Roger Ramsey. Yeah, so yeah.
We all are gonna have we're all gonna have pseudonyms. We have this guy Dave Gallo, who online is Lou Bundles, and he was also in one film with me, and he does a lot of the events that we do at the Trolley. But we just gave him a brand new character, and he's Larry Cheney, which is funny.
My God,
which is funny because I'm not going to say who exactly, but people thought he was related to Lon Chaney, and we kept that going for the longest time. And he plays, we do a thing called Who Slayed Santa at the Trolley Museum in East Haven, Connecticut. And I'm not going to plug it. Yes, I am. But he actually plays Santa and we don't know if Santa actually gets killed or not, but it's a murder mystery. So we will find out. That's 2 weeks in December.
Oh, that's going to be fun. I'll have to come out for that one.
Yes.
But the Jerry Cheney thing was so great because there was a few people that were about to post that they got his autograph online. I said, don't do that because they're good friends of mine. I didn't want them to be embarrassed, but it was pretty funny. He did a great job getting everybody to believe that, he was the great grandson of Lon Chaney. And so that was great.
I actually called him up and I said, I'm so sorry about your loss. And he goes, what are you talking about? And I go, Dick Cheney. And he just laughed.
Oh my God.
Oh, wow.
Can you tell we have fun? I mean,
absolutely.
That's really important because for the longest time I said so much of this, and you'll see the TV shows and you go to investigations, everyone's got the leather and, everyone is like so serious. I didn't want that. There's enough seriousness out there. There's enough. I always thought that we could bring a little levity with the seriousness and a little smiles with, with the sadness. And that's part of, I think the part of our success.
Yeah.
When we,
I think that's important. I mean, gotta have a balance of things.
Yeah. Well, it
yeah,
isn't the paranormal. You think about it. Anybody that comes on a paranormal investigation and all that, I've noticed the best results are when we're not really asking questions. We're just talking amongst ourselves and kind of joking around. And the next thing you know, there's a voice that comes through the box that wants to join in. So when you do something like that, that's the better way to do it. Just let them be part of the party,
yeah.
Right.
and you're going to get more results that way because they were like that in life. Everybody loved to party when they were alive. Why not keep it going? You get those great results. Oh, there you go, Samantha. Yeah, yeah. Why do people gotta be the Joker?
So, what are your favorite horror movies? Like, if you had to choose like one or two, what are your top favorites?
My two favorites are Halloween House, where I play a henchman, and and Tiny's October 31st,
Uh,
where I play the owner of a haunted attraction, which was typecasting to its upmouth because it was a horror. It was a place that I actually owned at the time, and I got to be the lead in that. So I really love that. But if we're talking non Roger Ramsey roles, we'll have to say The Exorcist for pure scares at the time. Phantom of the Paradise because nobody knows it, and the ones who do get it. It's the best horror musical of all time, and also a movie I could watch over and over and over again. Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein. So those right now are my top three that come to mind.
Two of those I haven't seen, so I'm going to have to watch them.
It's the non-exorcist ones,
Yep.
right?
Yep. What about for you, Thomas?
Charles knows this. I'm not really a horror movie watcher, but I do remember, of course, Salem's Lot because it's like the one I saw. But anything by Stephen King. But for me, it's more of some people consider it horror, like a thriller, but Silence of the Lambs is still by far my favorite if you're going to look at that type of genre. I actually got a chance. The station and I were going to see her grandson, and on the way back, there he is, Hannibal Lecter.
Yep.
So on the way back nearby, of course, me being the guy I am, I says, "Hey, you know what's nearby? Let's go." And we went, and I did a live from the Buffalo Bill House. And supposedly it's an Airbnb. You could go there, and the people that own it actually redid it all so it looks just like it. You could go down to the basement, and you could put your friend down in the hole and make them put the lotion in the basket if you want, and those types of things. But yeah, by far, Silence of the Lambs, just those thrillers. My background in profiling and criminal behavior and all that. It's just I've always liked that serial killer type of movie, which by far a lot of them are based off of real people. And I always think our society and some of the things our people do in society are a lot worse than anything they could show in a horror movie.
I would say so too. Oh,
Yeah,
Samantha.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
so
Some
funny.
fava beans. That's right. But
I think for me, like it's kind of hard because I've
yeah,
seen a few different ones. And The Exorcist is definitely one of them. But then there are too many. And I don't watch a whole lot of horror movies, but I've got my little collection of different ones that I like to see. I liked Frankenstein when it came
yeah,
out.
yeah.
Um, I mean, from what I understand, it actually came out before I was like when I was really young. So, at least the one that I saw. Let's
Mhm.
see.
Well, there's the newer one that's out.
On
The,
Netflix now. Yeah.
the Del Toro there did and all that. So Charles has probably already seen it. So
Well,
uh,
I no, guys, I love that we're talking about favorite horror movies because along with the True Ghost Stories of Connecticut book that I've written, the first book I ever wrote was the book of top 10 horror lists, and that was where celebrities and just notables, people in the sports world, rock stars, scream queens, movie stars, authors, DJs, gave me 100 of them, gave me their top 10 favorite horror lists.
Yeah.
And that was the basis of my first book. And the Exorcist comes out as number one on that book list when you tally up all the choices of the 100 people who contributed to it. But Frankenstein's on there too. And if you're referring to the first one, which was Boris Karloff, I think it was probably before you were born because it came out in 1931.
Oh, well, yeah. Yeah.
Well, you forgot Raven's immortal, so she's been around for lifetimes. So.
Well, yeah, there's that.
Many times.
It was a really good movie. Like I've watched the older versions, and I've watched some of the newer ones that have come out with different horror movies, and sometimes the classics are even better than the newer ones. And then you can kind of sit there and do a comparison between the two and find like different things you like about them individually and together.
Yeah. Not when Nosferatu came out, there was so much comparison, between the silent and all that. I think what happens is when the new movie comes out, it has its people who love it, and I think that it kind of fades away, and people will then gravitate to the originals. And I think that's the case with Frankenstein and Dracula, and certainly Nosferatu. All the films that, when you think of Dracula, do you really think of I don't know, Jack Palance? Do you think of Bela Lugosi? If you think of Frankenstein, you think of Boris Karloff. That's the face you see, and I think that's the biggest factor. I was at a place today, and the music was playing overhead, and I said to the guy at the counter, "Hey, you must hear this song every day. It's it's on a pipe." I go, "Who sings that?" I don't know. Before my time. And it was a Dean Martin song. And I go, yeah, obviously it's for your time. Did you never hear of George Washington, our first president? He goes, of course I did. I go, well, that was before your time too. It's the stupidest answer when someone says before my time. Because you can always go back to it, whether it's music, whether it's a film, whether it's anything, you can always refer back to it. And nothing is before our time.
Yeah. Well, it is. Time's a big thing, especially in the paranormal and all that. But you look at time like that. If you skip time, you miss out on a lot of things. So even you go back in time, especially if you're a horror fan, you want to watch where it all stemmed from, because then you start seeing how, okay, this generation had this the way it was. And then they say, well, let's try this. And it keeps going. And then you get into movies like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre that really, have people to look at horror in a different way. Halloween, stemming to Friday the 13th with the slasher movies and all that. There's always some kind of something thrown in there. And of course, me being the serial killer, like murder type guy, of course, Ed Gein was like probably his real-time story was generated so many things like Psycho, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, of course, Silence of the Lambs, the list goes on. But yeah, real life tends to make horror movies, some of the stories, and yeah, it's part of our time. It's never not our time. These are things you have to look at, and we learn from movies sometimes too. Even if it's a horror movie, we know not to go into the house. We always yell at the screen, "Don't go in there. That's where he is." And they always go in there, and you're like, "Oh, what the heck?" If I were in a horror movie, it always creates those great conversations. What would you do if you were being chased by Jason Voorhees, aka James Stokes, who will be at Salem Paracon this weekend? But those are the things we think about. That's what makes it such a great genre.
And we can go on because unlike what I said at the beginning of the show about being flippant, funny, and that I'd never seen horror movies, I see them as they come out, and science fiction and supernatural. And tonight before here, I saw this a sneak preview before it's in the theaters of a movie which is really beautiful called Infinity, and it has kind of a supernatural, beyond life theme to it. So I can just go on and on and on. But thank you for mentioning horror movies, so I can plug the book of top 10 horror lists available on Amazon, as well as
the Salem Paracon this weekend. Yeah, you could get some there.
Salem Paracon.
And you could have our famous horror actor that we have, Charles F. Rosenay, be able to sign it for you too.
Are you going to have some of your books available for sale at the Paracon?
Definitely, yeah.
Okay, good.
The way I see it now, I think I'm going to be having the welcome desk, so everyone checks in with me, and I'll have all my books out there and some other goodies, and then they make their way into this giant gymnasium where there's going to be all the vendors. On the stage is going to be the guest speakers, and in a back room behind us, if this all works out the way I expect it to, that's where our band will be playing. So it's going to be great. I just really hope a lot of people come, because you put so much time and effort into an event, and if 1,000 people come, you say, why weren't there 1,500? If there was if there's 2,000, why isn't there 3,000? As a promoter, you always want more and more, and we're just hoping it's going to be an amazing turnout.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure it's going to be absolutely incredible with everything that I've seen, all the hard work that you two have put into this. It's going to be a fantastic conference, and I think that anybody within the paranormal, or anybody that's interested in the paranormal, and you live in Salem or you want to come to Salem, should be there.
Well, it's funny because the first time we ever did this event, and it was after we did the Connecticut Paranormal Convention, Paracon in Connecticut, I look around the crowd. How many people are from Salem? And no one raises their hand. How many people from Boston? How many people from Massachusetts? How many people from Rhode Island? All the hands go up. How many people from Connecticut? It was the first one we ever did. No one from Salem came. So let's put it out there that we'd love for Salem people to come. But you know what? It's worth a trip from anywhere, from New England, from any part of the States. You're going to have a great time. 2 years ago, we had a girl fly in from Australia.
Oh,
And we treated her like the biggest VIP. And I think it was the year we had, I think, Tara Buckman, who was the mom, the actress from Silent Night, Deadly Night. And they took pictures together. And she said this was worth the trip. She said, I don't care if there was 1 million people here or 10 people here. For me, I had the greatest time. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to give people a great time.
Yep.
During the day, SalemParacon.org at Salem State University South Campus. Again, from noon to 6 p.m. If you want to be VIP, come an hour earlier. We'll get you in at 11 o'clock. And then in the evening, we take an hour off to, pack up everything, head to a beautiful pizza place, which we're not going to reveal the location because we don't want people sneaking over there unless they're part of the event. And then we'll go to, again, the Satanic Temple, which is also the Salem Art Gallery, formerly funeral home. And we're doing a paranormal investigation with a whole, literally a paranormal group of all-stars. If people want information on that, they can just email SalemParacon, SalemParacon @gmail.com. It's the best way to get information on the convention or the investigation afterwards this Saturday. Did we tell them it was this Saturday, by the way?
I don't know.
Yeah, November 15th.
Is it this Saturday? I think
It's this Saturday.
Thank you.
So, if people want to come, or if people want to come to other events that you both have, how can they reach you best?
The best is to follow Thomas Patrick Gormley on Facebook or Instagram, because he posts like no one's business. All day he's posting not only great things that we do together, but that he and Stacia do together, that Raven, that you guys, he's really a nice internet. He's a nice way of getting out a lot of information of our paranormal family. So that's really the best way, is to follow him.
Sounds good to me.
Don't follow Charles. He gets scared when people follow him. So he's like his shadow.
And I have too many places and too many websites and too many Facebooks and all that. So it will only confuse people. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Well, I just had a Matthew walk into the room. He's sitting next to me.
Nice.
Hey, Matthew, how are you?
What's up, buddy?
Hey.
There he is.
Just got back from Lodge, over in the Oddfellows Lodge in Boston. So.
Oh, nice. There you go.
It is stupidly rainy over here, so I'm glad to be home.
Oh,
Good.
I love the hat. I love the look.
Yeah, look at that. Got the bow tie. There you
Had to
go.
be dapper for tonight. Let me tell you,
Yeah.
all that ritual.
Yeah.
You know what? You said odd fellow, and you fit the bill perfectly.
Yeah. There you go. Nothing better than being odd and weird, you know. So
That's us.
that's what we all are.
We have it all in common.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to be on my show and share about the Salem Paranormal Conference. I just appreciate you both and respect you both so tremendously. And I look forward to this weekend. And I really, truly hope that everybody comes.
Oh yes, we too. And this was a rehearsal, so now we're going to actually record the show.
Yeah. Oh shit. I think I said some things I shouldn't have.
Oh, no.
David, thank you so much for having us. We love being on with you.
All right.
And make sure everybody out there brings enough Snapple for Charles and gives it to him as they come into the Salem Paracon.
That'll be zero sugar and
Yes.
no tequila in it. That was a
Yes.
joke.
All right, Gwen, do you want to come on up?
There she is.
Charles, you said one thing that just made me smile even better. You said the paranormal family. I love it. I love it. Yeah. Everybody, please come out. See Charles, see Tom, see Raven, see me, see everybody.
Mostly see Charles. Everybody will get to see Charles on the way in. You won't miss him.
Post about it, share about it, please. Thank you, Kathy. You did a lot of great commentary while we were going on. Please come visit us and please share the convention, because when we sharing it, it's going to a lot of the same eyeballs.
Yeah.
The more people that share it, the more people who might not know about it will find out about it.
Especially, hopefully, our other special guests are watching. You know, you guys share to your people. It's a ripple effect, and that's what we need, and it's free. You just post what we're posting, share it, do that, and that way we'll get to reach more people, and more people will come out to hang out with you, be at all the vendor tables, get to hear you talk on your platform. So what's better than that? Very easy to do.
Yep. And Raven lives in Salem, so Raven,
I do.
put it out to all the groups, man, please.
Yeah, we'll see Raven after she rolls out of bed on Saturday, and
yeah.
Well, we have a 16 or 18-hour drive.
Yeah, you do. Mine
looks like a zombie.
Yeah, Station I think Station I from Cleveland probably gonna be about 9-10 hours, somewhere in there, 9.5 hours. But yeah, we're dedicated to it because we want to bring a good show, make sure everybody gets to see some great stuff, have a great time, and we all want to be part of that. And we'll drive as far as it takes to do that for our patrons.
That's exactly right. Exactly right. Well, you guys, do you mind if I show the little short thing and then the commercial? Is that good with you guys?
Please.
Yeah.
The short thing, you're talking about Charles again?
Charles, they give me hell all the time because I'm vertically challenged also.
Yeah. Oh, we're talking about Gwen again. Oh, okay.
Yeah. But here we go. We're gonna play this one, then we'll play the big commercial, as I call it. Let's see.
Nice. And
I
again,
love how
before
we
we
were all
leave,
dancing
just
in
a
the
shout
background.
out, just a shout out to Melissa Serafine that makes us kind of look good on those ads and stuff like that. I know the first ad was Lee and Gwen, of course, and all that. But yeah, we want to thank her. She's part of our crew. So yeah.
Chaotic Goods. If you
Chaotic
need
Goods.
Tried to get her to come on, but it did not work out. I tried to get the band to come on also, but it may be if they say yes, I will do a special thing for them to come on because I think people would like.
Yeah. Well, Melissa, not only she did all our stuff, she did the opening logo for Raven for her show. We're
She
just
did.
on here.
That's right.
And my
That's right,
logo
she
as
did.
well. She
Yep.
created my logo for
She
me.
is talented.
Yeah.
And I do a lot of this stuff myself, so I get it. And you guys think it takes 5 minutes? No, no,
Yeah.
Oh,
it's a big deal. It's a huge deal. So.
Yeah, it is.
Well, I'll put it out there. Anybody that's coming and is going to be a guest or whatever, if you want to come on, I've been trying to put out the messages, and a lot of people just busy. So,
well, make sure they all bring, everybody come and special guest. If you're not flying in, bring your own table. That way you could decorate it very nice and knowing that it's yours and you love it. And
I'm
that
glad
way
you
people
said
will come
this,
and love
Thomas.
you. Yeah, bring all your tables, bring your chairs. We might have some extra chairs, but tables are a little harder to come by at a place that's going to be taken down in a few months. And we're going to be the last big show there. So
I'm glad you said that because we didn't know. We would have drove all that way without them.
yeah.
So.
Yeah, I got to start instant messaging a lot of people in the next few days. So the job is never done. We always making sure everybody's there to have fun and go from there. So we're excited to see you guys all again. All of us weirdos in one place.
Yes. Well, you guys, I'm gonna say, hey, if you got something else, say it. If not, we're gonna let these lovely people go.
I think we're good.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks,
Well,
Raven.
I'm gonna take you down. If you want to hang on a minute, that's cool. If you got to go, we get it. So I'm gonna take you down. And thank you both for coming on. I appreciate it. I know Raven does.
Yeah.
I do.
Yeah.
Right.
See y'all soon.
Yep. That was great. I'm sitting in the background just laughing at you guys, and it's funny. It's cute.
It's always fun to spend time with the both of them.
It is. It absolutely is. And everybody, seriously, if you're in Salem, come out. If you're not in Salem, grab a ticket and come on. We're coming.
Yeah.
All of us. So it was going to be fun. I'm excited. I don't know what else to say except end the show, lady.
All right. All right, everyone. Thank you so much for joining the Medium Frequency tonight. I appreciate you. If you can come to the Salem Paranormal Conference, Horror and Paranormal Conference, please come. It is November 15th. It's going to be an awesome event. Next week, I will have Stacia on the show. I'm very excited to be having her join us. So that will be our next week's show. And with that being said, have a good night, y'all. Bye now.